So once again we get to film one of my favourite videos today. It is another contest video. So hello and yes, welcome back to another video guys. Now today it is an exciting one, it's a big one. It's another contest entry. Contest entries to me are always the funnest things. You know, I just entered Ross Goodall's contest and I said the exact same things at the start of my video for him. I love doing contest entries because I love the questions and I love supporting channels and I love helping my friends out. And generally, it's great that we can have these contests here in the VC. So today's one is for a very good friend of mine. You guys all know him, VinylCollector James. You know, I speak about him a lot here on my channel because we've become really good friends. And we have this great friendship going where we just send each other packages and we trade a lot of stuff and we have a lot of fun. So you see my name pop up on his channel a lot and you see his name pop up on my channel a lot. So, of course I had to enter your contest, James. Of course I did. And it's a big one. It's 1,000 subscribers. It's the first big milestone, really, that you can reach on YouTube. I mean, I know that, you know, you've got like 500 subs. That's a big deal. But the 1,000 mark is the first real big one. So congratulations for that. You really do deserve it. I'm sure soon enough we will be celebrating 2,000 and everything else. So congratulations, you know, as I say. There couldn't be a person out there who deserves this more. Anyone who hasn't checked out his channel, make sure you check it out. There is a link in the description to his channel. Also, if you go on my recommended channels lists, you can also see him there. So yeah, VinylCollector James, you just got to make sure you check his channel out and be his next subscriber. But anyway, his contest for 1,000 subscribers, it's pretty simple. 5 questions. 5 pretty fun questions, which I'm really digging here. So anyway, they're quite difficult. So anyway, we're just going to get started. We're just going to go in order. So question number 1, biggest grail. Now I really like biggest grail items because there's so much fun. You feel so proud when you get them and the hunt for them is great. But most people say with their questions, what's the biggest grail in your collection? James wants to know what's the one you're missing. That is actually 3 I really want. So I've got like 2 runners up. One of the runners up is a really minty, nice original mono pressing of the Beatles' White Album. I'd love to have one that's complete, a complete original first press mono, with, you know, it doesn't have to have the best number because I'm not really too fussed about the numbers, but I'd love to have a really nice minty one, with the poster, all the 4 pictures, the record's in the original black sleeves in nice condition. I'd love to have that. I do have a nice copy of it in mono, but it's missing the pictures. It's got the poster, but it's missing the pictures. And there's a little bit of a tear on the back cover, I think. So it's good enough, but I'd love to have an original mono one that's really minty. Another runner-up is going to be a picture disc from, I forget when it came out, between 2005 and 2010. It's called the Danger Men Session by Madness, which is where they basically cover some of their favourite artists' tracks. For example, they do the Kinks' Lola on there. And it's really good. If you like the Kinks, check out Madness's version of Lola. It's very good. But it is the only Madness album I'm missing on vinyl now. And I absolutely love Madness. So I would be so happy to get that. But the number 1 grail I'm going to go with, me and James have actually talked about this one a lot. In fact, we talked about it recently, which is quite amusing. It isn't a great album. So, but I know it's super rare and it's by one of my favourite artists, Rushes by the Fireman. And of course the Fireman is Paul McCartney. Rushes came out in '99, I believe. It's a super, super rare vinyl. And I would love to have it. So, yeah, that would be the grail missing, Rushes. Question number 2, number 1 Desert Island album. And it's kind of funny because I don't own my number 1 Desert Island album on vinyl yet, and I do own it on CD, but I've either misplaced it because it's not where it should be, or I put it away. Don't know why I did that, but anyway, my number 1 Desert Island album is probably, I'm just going to go with the Beatles one. And why am I going with the Beatles one? Because it covers every stage of the Beatles' career. You know, if you go with the Red Album, you're pretty much stuck with their early stuff. If you go with the Blue one, you're stuck with their late stuff. So I like the number 1 because you get a mix of both. and every song on there is just brilliant. You never grow old of any of those Beatles hits. So yeah, the Beatles one has to be my Desert Island album, because I'd never grow sick of it. I'd never grow bored of it. It's just literally classic song after classic song. And yeah, you cannot go wrong. Question number 3, I do have some records to hold up for the next questions. So question number 3 is favourite album to take on a road trip. I was going to say the Beatles one, but then I figured, you know, actually that's better as a Desert Island one. This is my favourite album to take on a road trip, because this was the first band I ever got into. Me and my dad absolutely loves this band as well. And everyone here in the UK loves this band. Because I know that, you know, across the pond in America, they're not the most well known, which is a shame, because you guys are missing out. Everyone here in Britain loves it. You know, my sister, she likes all this modern crap that's played on the radio, but when I put a CD on, she always goes, oh, and I go, oh, it's this band. She goes, oh, actually, I like that. You know, all the kids seem to still like this band. This is the most popular band of the old British acts here in the UK, I'd say. Everyone here in the UK just loves this band. Whatever age you are, whatever, you just love it. So, and they really are easily in my top 5 bands, so it's very easy for me to say Madness, Total Madness. This is all of Madness's hits. You know, it goes from their really early stuff, like Baggy Trousers, Embarrassment. It goes all the way through to some of their 80s stuff. And it does some new stuff as well, like NW5 and Love Struck. So it's just a really, really cool album, and as I say, everyone in the UK loves it. So it's an easy pleasing album. You know, you can put it on, and there is 0% chance that someone's going to say, I don't like Madness, because everyone likes Madness. So question numero 4 is the most unexpected album in your collection. And, you know, the way James described this was, you know, like when you have friends come over and they go, oh, I wasn't expecting you to have that. I don't really buy music that is unexpected, or... I mean, I take risks on albums, but it's still like, you know, like Frank Zappa, or... you know, stuff like that. People can see me, I can see me buying it. So, I mean, normally if I'm really pushing the boundaries on an album, like, I'm really curious, but I know, like, say it's a modern artist who's doing something, I'll go listen to it on Spotify first, and then I'll decide whether it's worthy on vinyl or not. And most of the time it isn't. I'll just say Spotify's good enough for me. So I went to my soundtrack collection for this, and I've got some pretty funny soundtracks. I'm very proud to own all of these. I'm not embarrassed at all. Hey, I'm coming on YouTube to show you guys, and of course I'm not embarrassed. But I think people would be surprised at the last one here especially. So anyway, I've got a couple runners up here. I bought these Disney picture discs. So The Lion King, you know, I don't think that one's unexpected, because The Lion King is fantastic music. This one might be a bit unexpected. Toy Story. Yeah, I absolutely love the music in Toy Story. It's fantastic. So yeah. And then this would be the unexpected one. I mainly bought this for my sister, because she's the biggest fan of this film. I mean, it's not a bad film. It's a girly film, there's no doubt. But it's not a bad film, really. But the music in it was typical Disney stuff. You know, Frozen, Moana type Disney music. And it's Tangled. But, yeah, I like this film. It's a good film. The music's decent in it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm very happy to own this. I'm not embarrassed of it, because I like Disney films. I like Disney music. But, yeah, I think people will be very surprised to see this one of all films in my collection. So, yeah. And then the last question up is was pretty easy for me, actually. And James was saying this one would probably be pretty difficult for people, but this one I jumped straight on it. Artist or band where I most relate to their lyrics. So lyrics are a difficult thing, because you don't get many serious lyricists anymore. You know, you had some brilliant ones back in the day. You had, you know, like John Lennon, who was writing some very heavy, deep stuff. Bob Dylan, of course, would write about anything and everything so brilliantly. But for me, you know, again, I hate to put this whole video on Madness, but I am going to choose Madness, and let me explain why. So anyway, I've been on this Madness kick lately, as some of you can tell. You know, Madness has come up twice in this video already. But even before I got on this Madness kick, because the only reason I mentioned the Danger Men sessions for Biggest Grail Missing is because I've recently started to get their albums, and it's a very rare album. And Madness has always been a road trip CD for me anyway, so that was an easy choice as well. So all of these, Madness probably would have got these spots even before I got on this big Madness kick, because I've always loved them. It's just I've decided to get all their albums recently. But I do generally pick their lyrics because they kind of write about everyday things that were happening here in the UK. You know, I've picked up this album, for example. And, you know, there's a lot of tracks on here that you could go to and just talk about how they relate to you. You know, Bed and Breakfast Man. We all know someone like the man who they're singing about in the Bed and Breakfast Man. My Girl. Everyone's been in that kind of relationship where, you know, girl wants to go out and do something and you just want to sit in and watch TV and you're like, I don't really want to go tonight. Causes an argument, you know. But then you've also got things like Baggy Trousers. That sums up my school days very well. I did do well in school and I did concentrate. But, you know, you were generally messing about and having a laugh most of the time and trying to wind the teachers up. Here in, you know, public schools here in the UK, that's what they're like. Our house, I can relate to that. I don't have a big family, but my family is very close. And we always have my grandparents coming around and my aunt. And, you know, it almost is like our house has a crowd. House of Fun, you know, you can relate to that one as well. The lyrics are just so relatable here for me, because I've experienced most of these things myself. So yeah, but anyway, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. James, congratulations again. I hope you've enjoyed this contest entry. Please hit the subscribe button on both mine and James's channel. Both James's channels. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for another video.